door. Her parents were just shocked, and they didn't ask any questions. They just immediately let us in. And all we had was for whatever we could find in Adi Kailash, because they had just destroyed the whole place. And we also couldn't carry much because we didn't know where we were going. So whatever we could fit in our backpacks, she had a backpack and me too, we just put, and our devices were very important to us, even more than our clothes, because we needed our laptop, we needed our cell phone to communicate at least minimum, and to do something with the internet that might be needed to be done, because we didn't even know what would be needed to be done. We didn't know anything. So that, and our chargers, all this became more essential than our 2 sets of ochre robes. So just with 2 sets of ochre robes and our gadgets, our devices, we packed our backpacks and we just knocked on her door, and her parents were shell-shocked. They couldn't believe it. And we also knew that if we went in, they were not going to let us out, because the media, they were continuously watching the media in her home. Of course, the people outside, when you show them so much of a visual, you feed them with so much of terrorism happening out there, of course, they are going to be so concerned. Knowing that we went because we wanted at least 1 or 2 hours to come to terms with what is happening and talk to each other and decide which foot to put forward first and in which direction. So knowing that it might be very difficult to get out of her house, we went there and we just maintained a complete calm. And then she took us into her room, of course, her pre-monastic room. And they were very kind to us. They didn't disturb us. Her mother was serving us, pre-monastic mother was serving us something to eat and all that. So then we quickly put our heads together and we said, hey, look, now, if we delay further, media is feeding more and more false news into people. People are entering into phobia and panic. Definitely, we cannot step out again and be available to ourselves and to the mission and to our sannyas and to our guru, right? The purpose of our life. So we need to move from here fast. So what we did, even from the belongings that we bought, we just left a few things there. And then very minimum we took with us and stepped onto the streets. Ma Achala and myself. Sorry, Ma, you were going to ask something?
Yes, I was going to ask. It is a time when, as a sannyasi, the life of us, who's our guru, Swamiji is being attacked left, right and center. And it is on the 3rd of March, we all knew, with Swamiji being locked inside his own quarters, his residence was burnt. And I was there in the monastery at that time, and none of the Adinavasis or Swamis were even allowed to go out, and we were actually purposely held away so that, the assassination attempt can go in full swing. So we know for sure the life of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is under attack. That's one side. Now it is the time for whoever is there to come together to strategize, to see how to handle the situation, right? And at that time, the people who were, I was very new at that time. The people who were, like, let's say, Bhaktika Swami, who was there for about 8 years, and Achana Swami who has been there for 6-7 years by then, who were the administrators or a part of the administration, or people who can reach out to people who were administering. That group had to stay together to strategize, to see what is going to happen tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? How can we protect Swamiji? How can we get out of this? Because at one place, the ashram is burning. On the other side, the Adinavasis are being attacked. The other side, temple deities are being attacked. And all over, not just in Adi Kailash, right? All over India, is in every Kailasa, attack is going on. Deities are being destroyed. Books are being burnt and whatnot. So this is a huge attack by the anti-Hindu elements and neo-Hindutva militants coming together. Continuously hate speech is going on in the media, where the administrators even allowed to strategize, where the administrators even allowed to think what we need to do to handle the fire that's going on internally, externally, where the disciples even allowed to to see how to protect our beloved Guru whose life is in danger. We don't know where Swamiji is and how Swamiji is, how safe he is, continuously being attacked. Was there even a place for us to talk? And this was exactly the conspiracy done by the anti-Hindu elements, where we are now made to run for our own life. The top administrators of Adi Kailasa now don't even know where their next place of stay is going to be. So one is the displacement of sannyasis as such. But that's a lesser problem, because the bigger problem here is the attack on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who's our very life. What do we need to do? One side, there are hundreds of false cases. The other side, the hate speech in the media. The other side, the anti-Hindu elements and the new Hindutva attacking us from all sides. The ashrams are burning. Women sannyasis are being raped and molested. So much of hate news coming from everywhere. And the people who could do something about it, who could reach out to the media, or who could give a press meet, or who could answer the public, who could answer the thousands of phone calls ringing in Adi Kailash continuously, knowing, wanting the devotees, wanting to know what's happening. Can they come? Can we be there for support? Can we come there? Can we do something? The people who are part of Kailasas everywhere, wanting to be a part of it. Is there anybody to even answer their phone calls? Because the people who could do were purposely and cunningly and strategically displaced. Now, the team which was to handle the crisis is spread in 10 different places. And you are put in the crisis yourself. You don't know where you're going to stay, what you're going to do. This is exactly how the anti-Hindu elements and the new Hindu militants literally rip apart Hindu organization, knowing that Supreme Pontiff is the last lamp of Hinduism. And this organization and Kailasa is the only hope for humanity and the only hope to keep the Enlightenment civilization alive. An organization which has its foundation principles on ahimsa and non-violence. This was what was done to us. And the reason why I'm sharing this, dear viewers, is we need to know it's not just about sannyasis, staying somewhere else for a few days and coming back. No, the entire organization is in crisis now. The attack is happening from all corners. How do we handle it? And the people who were to handle are displaced themselves, running to find out where they can be safe, where they can be protected. Yes, Ma Bhakti Swami, please continue.
Yes, Ma. And my Anatma Swami, these particular few days I'm describing now, it was a complete focus on where we can be to remain alive because of the nature of the attack coming from media and all other quarters, which we don't even know what these quarters are. We only know we're being attacked, right? So the whole focus was on, we don't know where Swamiji is and what has happened to Swamiji, and we have to keep ourselves alive. Only these two thoughts are going on in the head continuously. Where is Swamiji? What is happening to him? And how do we remain alive? Right? So we told Ma Achala Swami's pre-monastic mother, Amma, we are just going to go out and we'll be back. Okay, she needed that. Only then she's even going to let us go out. Okay, so we just told her that. But already Ma Achala and myself had offloaded a few more things in her house because it was too much to carry. And we wanted to be lighter, right? We didn't know what was awaiting us. And so we took very, very bare minimum again in the backpack and we left her house. Her father was continuously watching the media in the drawing room, and really divine grace, they allowed us to move. They could have very well said, no, you cannot move now. You have to be inside, right? Just it happened and we went out. That's it. Never to go back again. We went, and then where to go? We just stepped out on the streets. And on top of our ochre robes, we were wearing color clothes. If you have to remain alive and you need to serve the people and you need to retain your sannyas vows, what do? On top of our ochre robes, we were wearing the color clothes. And even that media picked up, and they would flash us, and the headlines would be Rang Rang Rangila, Rangila means like, colors. Oh, you know what? All the sannyasis are wearing color clothes. People outside don't know we are wearing color clothes to save our lives. And we are wearing our kavis inside. We are wearing the ochre inside. Every single fight for our life was twisted by media and we were made to, they made it appear as though the sannyasis are having a good time wearing color clothes, making use of the situation. Whereas here, we are fighting to remain alive and still preserving our sannyas vows and wearing the color clothes on top of our kavi clothes and looking around how to remain alive. So we stepped onto the street and we just wanted to appear as though, all was well. And we just kept walking where we don't know. That was the first time, Manyaratma Swami. It's like, you just don't have a place. You don't know where you should go. You're just on the streets. Means you're just on the streets. That's all. There is no place. Your home is burning. There is no place. And you are afraid to talk to anybody. Afraid only for one reason. That we might not be able to remain alive to continue God's own mission. No other fear was there, mind you. That is the success and the greatness of our beloved Bhagavan on each one of us sannyasis. We did not have a fear for our life in the real sense of fear of life. Our fear was we wanted to still be alive to be part of God's own mission and continue with Sanatana Hindu Dharma. That was the only fear. It was not the mundane fear of life. We had lived enough with Bhagavan for him to transmit that ultimate powerfulness in us. And it worked. It worked on the face of real life and death situation. Ma Achala and I can write a book on just those few days and help people understand Hinduism is real, Hindu. And when you're presented with a life and death situation, the Hindu truths work and incarnations are real, Paramashiva is real. And when Paramashiva happens, you can test any truth of Hinduism you want, it works. So we were out on the streets. Where we were going, we don't know. And suddenly, Ma Achala and I had nothing to do. There was nothing to do. We were waiting to get some news through our small devices. And another fear at that time was, what should happen to our devices? It is running out of charge. The only thing we wanted to do at that point in time was how to keep our cell phones alive. That was the only strategy we did. We could only do one step at a time because first we had to have our devices to keep in touch with each other, to keep in touch with the other pairs and to a smaller core team that was still there in Adi Kailash. So this was our lifeline, our small cell phones. And at that time, so many years back, we did not have such advanced cell phones either. So, yes.
So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the leader of the entire community.
I'm not able to hear you very loudly.
Sorry, Ma. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the leader of the entire community, was exiled from his home. You all, his disciples, the members of the community, were forced out onto the streets, forced into hiding, displaced from your homes. Then, even though you were in hiding, you were still being attacked. So at this time, what was it that made you come back and be able to come back to the Adinam despite facing so much of attack and so much of insecurity and instability?
Ma, when you have experienced truths for yourself, then you don't need the support of anything else and you will stand for it and you will want to be associated only with it, come what may. Like I was just sharing with you, Ma, those few days will forever, till the rest of our lives, be the single thing I will recount to anyone who has a question about Paramashiva, about incarnations, about Hindu Dharma, and about the teachings and truths of Hindu Dharma. Your question is, what made you come back? Only these 4 things. That Swamiji is Paramashiva, and the strength of his teachings and what he had transmitted to us. I'm using the word transmission because unless it is a transmission of light, this depth of cognition and the courage would never have come upon any of us. So it is nothing but the purity, the depth, and the realness of Paramashiva, Swamiji as the incarnation, his teachings, and the mission, Swamiji's mission, which is so sincere, real, and when you've lived something, you don't need any other support. Just the strength of your life is enough. So the answer to your question is, the strength of the life we lived with Swamiji prior to the attack is what saw us through the days of the attack. Every time, not just in 2010. Every year the attack happened. Every instance the attack happened. Purely the strength of the truths of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and the transmission, the initiation, the transmission from Swamiji as the incarnation to us. Only that has seen us through. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Because of the strength of your experience and because you were able to seek refuge in a safe place and return to the Adinam, you were able to continue your life. Unfortunately, not all of the female sannyasis, the children, the monks that were in the Adinam at that time were fortunate enough to be in such a situation to seek refuge in a safe place and return back to their homes. Can you explain a little bit more about that, Ma?
Actually, what happened, Ma, there were a junior rung of sannyasis also, right? Who were in their probationary vows period. Okay. So we had to take at least that one spot decision at that time because we were so many women, we had to take the one decision that our senior rung would split as pairs and keep ourselves alive wherever, okay? So that we could stay from wherever we are, function and regroup, okay, with God's grace. While the junior rung, we told them, look, just go back to your pre-monastic homes for a few days. We promise you that we will call you the moment Adi Kailash comes back to some level of safety. Because right now the storm is raging. We don't know what we are against. We have not harmed anybody, right? Just because we've been serving. And there are some vested interest people who don't want the service to continue. Things are happening. But your lives are very important for 2 reasons. One is you need to be available to continue your life in the path that you want and serve the people and live with your guru. And second, your pre-monastic families, they know you're in the probationary period. So they're going to be very, very, very concerned. And that is now the safest place for you right now. We had to take a very practical decision, balancing the entire scene that was so new and so raging in front of our eyes. So we told the junior rung and they did not want to move, Ma. So of course, so many of them are here today, right? But I still remember they cried and cried saying, why? You take one junior with each of you and go. If Ma Achala and you is going, one of us will come with you. What is the problem? If you can face it, we can face it. But you know, Ma, the tough decision at that time was, while Ma Achala, the senior rung like us, we were ready for anything, right? While we were ready to take on the responsibility for our lives, somewhere at that point, on the one side, taking these juniors along, because if we die, then they die along with us, but they wanted to put their lives down. That was the beauty of the whole thing. But somewhere we felt it was not fair on our part to drag them onto the streets. We were torn between the strength of their sannyas and somewhere, feeling this feeling that when there is an alternative for them, temporarily at least, why drag them onto the streets where life was not assured? So we took the tough decision and we literally begged them and said, very soon we're all going to regroup. We will see this through, guys. Just be out there for some time. We will call you the moment we feel things are safe again. Yes, Ma, you were saying something.
I was just wanting to reiterate.
Ma, we are not able to hear you very clearly, Ma.
Yes, Ma, your volume is a bit low.
Sorry, Ma. I was just saying that the situation was just too unstable for the younger group, the more vulnerable people in the community at that time, to be staying with the Adinam and continuing to remain within their identity as the ASMT community member, because the situation was too unstable, it was too insecure. So they were forced to disidentify from the community just for their own security, their own safety. I've heard, Ma, that even that many other females who were forced out on the streets were attacked actually that night. Can you share a little bit about that?
Ma, as women, you know what additional things we're up against, right? Which was one of the key reasons that we did not want to drag the younger ones onto the street. Because if we had to fight, then we didn't want, our energy to be diverting into anything else that might happen if we take the younger ones along. You know what I'm talking about, right? Women getting raped, which happened at that time. So that was another main reason why we decided we will not take them onto the streets with us. Because in front of our own eyes, in our own home, in Adi Kailash in Bangalore, so much abuse was happening. So many of our own female sannyasis, they were getting violated. And we just didn't know what more is going to happen to us. And this whole, and the whole thing was, Ma, we didn't know what the next scenes is going to be, right? We just didn't know what else might come on our heads, because we've only seen this in movies. And in movies, someone else is doing it. Even if you're emotionally involved, you're not strategizing, right? He's got the conclusion in his hands. You're only watching. You're not strategizing. And if it's happening in your own life, then you have no clue how to deal with it, right? So women getting raped, I've not even spoken those sentences before in my life at that point in time, right? So I'm just like being introduced to life every minute, every second in really gory forms. And at the bottom of this all, in my heart and in the heart of each one of us, where is Swamiji? What is happening to him? Where is Swamiji? What is happening to him? And we could just feel, Ma, the connection, of course, which was our only, which was the only thing that kept the heart beating, right? Our connection and the strength of that connection to the truth, that is Swamiji, right? That is the only thread that connected the entire group together, made us survive, come back, live gloriously, face all the attacks. And today it has culminated as the Kailasa nation itself. And when Achalama and myself stepped out, like I was telling you, we only had to keep our cell phones alive. That was the only strategy we could do at that point in time, because we were marking time for authentic news to come from our own people, what else is happening to us and what else needs to be done. So we had to charge our cell phones. So suddenly, I told Ma Achala, shall we just go to some temple? Because that's the only thing we know that will make it happen. It will take care of everything. Let us just find some temple. What worse can happen to us? They'll kill us. We're ready for it. That's it. We died for the truth. That's all. So it was around afternoon time, and we decided, fine, let's go to a temple. And she said, she's basically from Bangalore, so she knows Bangalore pretty well. So she said, I know there's a Shiva temple here. Let's go there. So then it was around afternoon time. And like you know, temples are closed in the afternoon. They open again back only at about 4 o'clock. So we said, never mind. We'll sit at the doorstep of the temple. So we sat there, the two of us. No conversation happened. We just sat. It was just at the edge of the cliff. We just didn't know what was going to happen next. And suddenly what happened? An old lady came limping from inside the temple. And she was calling out the names of a dog and a cat. And she told us, oh, I came to feed this dog and cat. You know, they come for food every day. And she opened the gate. Okay, at that time when the temple was supposed to be closed. And then we asked her, Amma, is it okay if we sit inside the temple now? She said, fine, come. You know, you very well know when the temples are closed, you know, for that period of time, generally you're not allowed inside. You have to wait till 4 o'clock, right? She allowed us in, and immediately both of us knew, see, if it is true, then it is true. It's happening. There is a God, and this is God's own mission. Swamiji will guide us every step. This itself is God answering our call. And we went inside, and it was a Shiva temple. There was a Shivalinga there. And we went and sat there, just in front of the Shivalinga. Of course, the door was closed. Through the grill, we could see the Shivalinga. And we said, now come on, Achala, we need to charge our cell phones. And you won't believe it. We just looked up, and there was this huge array, sockets, only sockets in a huge wooden board, right? And Ma Achala and myself grabbed our cell phones. And yes, Ma?
So, I was just saying, in a temple, seeing that kind of a huge array of wooden board of charging plug points is not a common scene that we see in a Hindu temple.
Exactly. That's what I was coming to tell, Ma. There was this huge, extraordinarily, you know, in a temple, such a big, only sockets. It was like, you know, Paramashiva was just giving it to us, showering on us, right? We immediately put our hands into the backpack, pulled out the cell phones and charged it. Put it for charging and just sat there and said, oh Lord, we're surrendering to you. We don't know where you are. We don't know where you are, Swamiji, where we don't know where you are. And all we know is we want to charge our cell phones so that we can remain alive and remain connected to the group. We can't think of anything beyond that right now. This is our strategy for now. Stay alive and keep the cell phone charged. We charged. And then what happened? We didn't want to stay too long in any place because we didn't know who was watching us. We didn't know what we were up against. And it was so venomous, the whole scene. So immediately we said, Achala, once the cell phone is charged, let's move. Let's not stay here too long because once a temple opens, people are going to start coming in. And we don't want to be sitting in one place and people being able to see us. We want to be roaming around so people will not be noticing our faces because we have been flashed a lot on television. So once we felt our cell phones were charged enough, we got up. Yes, Ma.
I just was sorry to interrupt, Ma, but I just wanted to, as you were sharing, it just occurred to me. In a peak of crisis where you have just been displaced, and if you see how women, especially women who are displaced, they go through so much of mental trauma. They go through panic attacks. They go through so much of suffering and pain, and they are not even able to think what they need to do. Women go through so much of trauma and stress when they are displaced. And there are so many research articles and books and the women who are displaced themselves have come out and shared how it was. And even now thinking about it, they have so much of that painful memories that they have during the traumatic period when they were forcibly displaced. And here I'm hearing the story of the women of Kailasa. The disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, displaced, don't know where to go, sitting at the footstep of a temple and, just entering a temple and thinking about, what, we need to charge our phones to be available. We need to charge our phones to decide what we need to do next. How else we can contribute to the society? How can we attend to the situation, the larger situation that is happening around us? It's just impossible for a woman in that situation to even cognize. All a woman, a normal woman would be thinking when she or he, when she is displaced, is how can I save my life? Where am I going to stay next? Where my next meal is going to be? Where am I going to be safe? Is my life going to be okay? That's all women can think about. And this is not to, this is all we are. This is how we as humans are made to, first of all, we can think, okay, my life is in danger. Let me protect myself. But here, the thought current that Swamiji has instilled in each and every one of us, at any point in time, always be available, be contributing to the society. Even at the time when you are displaced, even at the time where you do not know where your next meal is going to be or where your next place of residence is going to be, you are thinking about being available to people, being available to the society. This is exactly what the Supreme Pontiff has inculcated in us, that even at the time of crisis, not when we are in the monastery, when we have all the infrastructure, when you do not have anything, when you are stripped of everything, and there is so much of uncertainty that around you, even at that time, we are only thinking of how can I be available? How can I be contributing? This is what I want to share. It brings even in that moment of crisis. Yes, ma.
Yes, ma. Ma Nyanatma Swami, at that time, Ma Achala and I were just on the streets, not knowing where to go, no home, and waiting for some miracle call to come to us. Like I was telling you, we were, at that temple, and then there was that one caretaker of the temple lying down. Okay, it was his resting time. Okay, so we just told him, Ayya, can you let us out? Because they had once again locked the gate. So once we knew our cell phones were charged enough, we said, Ayya, can you please let us out? You know what he did? He was lying down. If I think back in those scenes, I feel he was actually just Paramashiva lying down there. He doesn't even know who we are. He took his key from his trouser pocket without even turning and looking at us. He just threw the key, slid the key on the floor. He was lying down on the floor. He slid the key on the floor and said, here, take the key. Go open the gate, go out and just throw the key back in. How would he do that to strangers? It was like, a leela in front of our eyes, even in those dire circumstances. He just slid the slide on the floor and said, here, go out of the temple and lock, and you yourself throw the key back into the temple. So, Matra and I just looked at each other.
When you were sharing this, what reminds me? See, even though the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was himself had to, somehow we have to keep the physical body of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism safe and alive, and at that time, and so much of attack and assassination attempts going on, every moment, Swamiji makes us feel he is there with us. Yes. I don't know how to, that if you're watching us live, and I have experienced it, 1,000 times in my life, I don't know, thousands of times, and I'm sure Bhakti Swami also, it is not that, yes, we were stranded, but we were not. Yes, we were displaced, yet we were not. That is how Swamiji held us internally. If we could act differently at that time, if we could not collapse and cry and think of, having suicidal thoughts and going into depression and drugs and whatnot, if we could be stable mentally, psychologically, if we were able to even think and be a part of this whole grand mission, it is because of the inner software that Swamiji has installed in each and every one of us. And never once any of us felt stranded. Never once any of us felt Swamiji was not there with us. In some way, Swamiji will tell us and will make us experience that miracle. Will make us experience that I am there for you. When you were sharing this, Bhakti Swami, that was what the click that I'm getting. He just makes us feel at every moment, whether that woman coming out of the temple and taking you in, or this man giving the key, or this huge, this panel of sockets, that exactly what you needed. Everything is a way that Swamiji is telling you, you both are not alone. I am there with you.
Absolutely. Nyanatma Swami, I'm reliving what I'm telling, and you're able to see it from, so many different perspectives. I am just telling you life as it happened, and you're able to, bring out so many perspectives from it, right? At no point in time, we felt, it was just completely utter insecurity, right? You don't know, you don't have a home. You don't have a home. You're a woman. You're a sannyasi. So, I mean, even at that time, like you were saying, the concern was where and what is happening to Swamiji and how do we continue, right? So what we did, we took the key from the floor, okay, and then we went out and we locked and threw it inside and we moved. Our cell phones were charged. We started moving, and we started choosing roads which were not so crowded. So we were just walking. It was so different because you're used to going for an evening walk. Even evening walk, you know where you're going and where you're going to come back to, and you know the timing. It's a half an hour walk. That walk, those couple of walks I had with Ma Achala, I will never forget, because in those walks, we didn't know where we were going and we didn't know whether we would return and we didn't know which road to take. It is just a life at the peak of insecurity for us, that's all. So we went and we started walking around, and at that time, there was not much strategizing to do. We suddenly broke off into memories with Swamiji. Ma Achala started sharing so many things that Swamiji has told her directly. And I started sharing so many things that I've heard directly from Swamiji. And we just started recalling just disconnected, isolated incidents, exchanges with Bhagavan. And we just continued to walk. And both of us we're from publications department, like you know. So then we were discussing. So I was telling Achala, Ma Achala, we don't know where Bhagavan is. We don't know what has happened to him. But Bhagavan has spoken thousands of hours. He has spoken at least 12,000 hours at that point in time. And you and I are in charge of publications. We will, irrespective, independent of what is happening to Bhagavan, we will not let those 12,000 hours go anywhere. We will start something on our own if we survive. And we will bring out Bhagavan's teachings to the world. And let us do what we can. This is the kind of conversations we're having. We know how much truth Bhagavan has delivered in the 12,000 hours. And we know we will forever be part of the mission. Whatever may happen to the mission, in whatever form it's going to happen after this, whether it's going to happen, we don't know. But you and I know better than anyone else, those 12,000 hours are there. And we need to reach that to the people. So whatever it takes, we'll even set up a small office. Nyanatma Swami, we started talking so many things because we don't know what the next minute is going to be. And we don't know what happened to Bhagavan. So we are talking so many things. We're strategizing in so many different directions about the 12,000 hours of Bhagavan's talks. How we can even set up a small arrangement from where we can make this available to the people, the truths to the people. All these conversations we are having, and then suddenly when we come to a quiet spot on the road under a subway or something, we would just sit there and rest our feet a bit. And we would hope that there would be some call on our cell phone. There would be that miracle call that would come saying, guys, we're regrouping. If not in Adi Kailash, in some other alternate location where at least we can be together safely and strategize together safely. We were waiting for the miracle call and it came. Because there was no other expectation for us on that particular day. The only expectation was the phone to ring, and it rang. And we got a call saying, you come back and there is another alternate location. Let's regroup there. It seems to be safe. So all the pairs that split, we came back and we were in that location. And we started putting our heads together about the ABCD of what's going on. So that was the next scene. You know, if I think of if I just think back of those days, it is worse than even some of the movies I've seen. And I can't even believe today, actually, I've moved through all those scenes, such a large group survived it. And like Ma Punapriya was asking, what was it that made you survive and what was it that made you come back? Very simple. Sanatana Hindu Dharma, that it is true, it works, Paramashiva is real, and incarnations do happen even in modern times. And when they happen and they come as your guru, their teachings are real, and you can put it to acid test and you will emerge successful. So these are the only things that I will share forever and ever and ever with real life experiences to stand by it.
And at this time, Muktika Swami, when the efforts of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in bringing out the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the persecution of the women of Kailasa and the persecution of all the sannyasis, relentless efforts. I'm sure you know more than me. The number of media houses that we have knocked at, and the number of police stations we have gone through, the number of courts that we have gone, and the human rights avenues that we have approached, so many things over the last 10 plus years of this relentless persecution. And today, the efforts of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have come to fruition with the attack and the persecution that Swamiji and all of us went through is coming to light in the international community. So how does you as a monastic member of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa and somebody who has been in the center of this whole persecution and been through it before, during, and after, how does it feel when we realize that the efforts of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in bringing this to limelight has finally come to fruition?
Like I told, something which cannot even be described, the hard work of Swamiji, right? Simple hard work, which can never be described enough. The result of that, the culmination of that, happens every minute. His effort is in building individuals and reaching the masses, both at the same time. Building individuals means making individuals live enlightenment. And from whatever sharing I've done the past half an hour, I cannot find a more classic example than that as a direct testimony of the fruition of Bhagwan's untiring efforts. Because if two female sannyasis can survive what happened in 2010 and survive that life on the streets and be available today to share this with people, then nothing can be greater testimony to that. Nothing can be greater testimony to Bhagwan's efforts on individuals. And Bhagwan's reach to the masses in the infinite dimensions. There are people living today because of Bhagwan. They have been given life when the entire medical fraternity has washed its hands off. Thousands of cancers have survived. Why? Our own Srinitya Sevananda. Leading hospitals washed their hands off him, and he had a cancerous tumor. And he has been living 19 years with Swamiji. The doctors told him that you will not be able to sit for more than a few minutes for the rest of your life. And he has served as the, as such a enricher of people with the truths. And he has been sitting for hours together, connecting to people, completely defying the predictions of the scientific community. So Bhagwan's untiring efforts in infinite dimensions, be it healing, giving life to people. Giving life means, I mean, actual life, where you stop people from dying, right? That life, raw life, physical life, not life as in, emotional flowering and all. That is all next, coming up next. Raw life to people, and the living enlightenment dimension for people, and for people who want just to see economic prosperity in their life. That coming out true for them. And they're realizing that for economic prosperity also, your roots are in the spiritual truths. And if you adhere to it, you can see exponential growth compared to your mundane efforts in just the materialistic zones. So the efforts of Bhagwan on the masses and on individuals has happened across the span of his 43 years on planet Earth as the incarnation who's come down as the Guru in infinite dimensions for the people. If we can just bring those people to this forum and make them share, which we have been doing, but there are millions out there who've not yet made it to this platform, who've been given life, who've been given economic prosperity, who've been given living enlightenment as a lifestyle, and who have tested the truths and they've experienced it for themselves. So many millions have not yet come to this platform yet. So really, Niman and Atma Swami, it's too huge a story to tell the day by day with Bhagwan, and what is being uploaded in Nithyanandapedia, nithyanandapedia.org today, as day by day with Bhagwan, the colossal work that's still continuing, can only start telling the volumes about the simple hard work of Bhagwan. If one just goes into nithyanandapedia.org and they start seeing day by day, it will hit them the hard work you're just talking about, because it is just much larger than life itself. One will not be able to believe, one will not be able to believe that this is not possible by a normal human being. This is possible only by a divine being. Nithyanandapedia.org will help people understand that. Especially when we start putting all the narratives in place, like what I just shared with you. If everyone starts putting the narrative in place, then the story of how Bhagwan built the Kailasa nation from 1978, the year he assumed the human body. I'm saying 1978, I know I'm talking about age 0, because for an incarnation, his work starts the moment he assumes the human body. There is nothing called a period and then you start some mission, 0. Your mission starts if you're an incarnation from the time you land, because you don't know to do anything else except the avataric mission. So if you study the lives of incarnation, you'll understand what I'm saying. And if you study the life of Bhagwan, and if you interview the people who lived around him when he was age 0, and thereafter till till it became global, you'll understand what I'm saying. Sorry, I interrupted you. Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
I was just wanting to say, were forcibly displaced. What we went through at that time. As you are listening to this, how do you feel? What is that? What aspect of today's sharing impacted you? And when you think about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, one side getting assassination attempts on his own life. The other side, the monastery being burnt to ashes. The other side, the sannyasis are displaced. The other side, the sannyasis are attacked and raped and whatnot. When all these things are happening, and how Swamiji not just protected himself, the mission, each and being available to each and every one of us, and continuing to contribute, even when you are attacked, even when you are persecuted. When you listen to these, how do you feel? I invite each and every one of our viewers to please leave a comment in the YouTube live chat of the HDH Nithyananda channel. If you're watching the live on YouTube, please come over and share your thoughts as you're listening to the sharing of one of the senior sannyasis of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, the monastic order of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, the Kailasa Uniting Nations for Swaminis, the order that Nithya Bhaktikananda Swami belongs to. How do you feel? The displacement of the women of Kailasa, the impact that it would have left on them, yet being available, following the footsteps of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being available and making themselves available to be a part of this divine mission. How do you feel? Please, I invite each and every one of you to come live and share and put your thoughts in the YouTube live chat, because we just have a few minutes before we enter into the live satsang. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to join us. And it is the relentless efforts of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who has not just protected each and every disciple, showing us that Swamiji is available for us no matter what. He is there taking care of us, protecting us, and being available for us. And today, presenting and compiling this whole cost and presenting it so that once and for all, this attack against Hinduism, attack against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the attack against Kailasa, an attack against the marginalized sections of the society and the marginalized sections of Hinduism can be protected. That attack can be stopped and we can have protection and the revival can happen. So please do come and share your comments. Humanity will be grateful to Swamiji. Absolutely, I are each and every one of us. If we can just have that, understand what Swamiji has done and doing to humanity, just that is enough to just melt in gratitude at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swamiji. Thank you so much, Maheshji, for coming and sharing your thoughts. And today, it is our responsibility as Hindus to share this news widely. So if you're watching us live, please use the hashtag UN recognizes the persecution of HDH Nithyananda and Kailasa and share this news virally with everyone.
Yes, I'd also like to add, first of all, thank you so much, Nithya Bhaktikananda Swami, for joining us and really sharing a heartfelt, something I'm sure even Kailasians across the world who have been seeing the persecution that has been happening for the past decade did not know what was going on, what was happening with inside, what was happening on these really during the nights of emergency right after the attacks in the Adinam. I'd like to add, of course, that it was what we're hearing from your story is one incident, and I absolutely was uplifted and at the same time devastated to hear how much you went through, how much it would have taken to take responsibility, ensure you're made available, ensure that you continue the vows you kept to serve humanity, and you are integrated to your vows to serve humanity, and at the same time also survive all attacks and ensure that you are withstanding the attacks, the fear of being raped, brutally assaulted, even being sexually assaulted in many instances from what you have shared before, and even having no food, no home, no space to even sleep, finding your way. And at the same time, how in all of that, you just held on to Swamiji. And you held on so ferociously that ultimately we are able to come back. I'd like to also explain to the viewers that it's not just one incident. What we heard today from Ma Bhaktika Swami was a heartfelt sharing, really that moved each and every one of us to tears. But in Adinams across India, whether it's Salem, Hosur, in Tiruvannamalai, in so many different cities, while they were searching, hunting literally for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the terrorist militant forces had raided each and every single Adinam, just like they did Adi Kailash, and women, Hindu sannyasis, and even children, Balasans, were kicked out, needed to flee the Adinam, just like Ma Bhaktika Swami, out of fear of their lives and fear of keeping their dignity intact, their basic human dignity. And across India, in all of the Adinams, they were just literally put into the streets, put into more and more vulnerable situations in order to, and pushed to protect themselves in this circumstance. And some of these women were not able to make it back. Some of these women were not even, we don't even know if they are safe still today because of the situations that are happening at that time. Who all over India, thousands were displaced. Thousands of Kailashian women were displaced in a matter of days. And it was not just this incident, it was not just 2010, but also in 2015, in 2017, in 2019, continuously. And Ma Bhaktika Swami, even during the Trishulam attacks, how we had literally been stoned nearly to death. And the entire Adinam destroyed, literally not even able to live in that Adinam, not needing to survive. And somehow we are able to get help to fix the property and fix the whole thing. Perhaps even Ma Bhaktika Swami, if you can share just a little bit for the viewers about the subsequent attacks that have been happening, where women have been displaced, where you yourself have seen in Pavlakundru and also in Trishulam, and even perhaps in YSJP, and how each and every time the women and children of the ASMT, when the terrorists attack and they raid the Adinams, they look out for, first of all, to kill the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and also to do their way, entirely entirely steal the dignity of all the women every single year. We'll now be continuing this segment. We're continuing the sharings from Ma Bhaktika Swami, and even interacting with some of you, some of the viewers who are commenting right now. We will just be right back with you after a very quick break.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Our support at this time. We have many of our YouTube viewers who have shared, listening to the sharing. We have Vikram saying the fire of chaste Hindu women. Thank you, Vikramji. We have Dr. Shanti saying, I'm completely amazed at the enormous tyaga and enriching dimensions that Bhagavan himself is living and transmitted successfully to all the sannyasis. Bowing down in deep gratitude at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We have Vikram U who's saying, I'm currently now in Adi Kailash COVID care, eating the royal food, which is a blessing of you mothers. And we have Ananda Bharati who's saying, no words to express the gratitude of Swamiji and his Sangha all through these years with Tyagaraja, blessing us, bearing all the false abusers and tortures. Swamiji and his sannyasis and his devotees have emerged now with triumph and feeling the truth will one day and the truth will win. I bow down to all the female sannyasis and the devotees who stood strong for the truth and Hinduism along with Paramashiva, encountering so much persecution, that too all baseless persecution. We have Ma Chitrabhanu sharing the sheer courage the sannyasis have shown is amazing and superb. The devotion and determination to support and defend their guru is admirable. Thank you so much, Ma Chitrabhanu Ma. We have Anne-Marie Casso saying, I just feel like living as highly, as strongly, as deeply as you did and follow Swamiji till the end. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And there are so many more comments that are flooding YouTube and Facebook, but just in the interest of time, it's time for us to get ready to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us. Thank you, everyone, for standing by Kailasa. Thank you, everyone, for offering your deepest gratitude at the feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Thank you for being there and supporting the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. And if I can just share one thing before we enter into the meditation, share this news virally. Share the post on the FB, the Facebook page of the HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page. Share the tweets with the hashtag UN recognizes persecution of SPH Nithyananda and Kailasa. It is important that we, as the disciples, followers of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and as e-Kailashians, share this virally with the world. Let the world know what the anti-Hindu elements and the neo-Hindutva elements did to Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And it is a responsibility of us to let the world know how the Supreme Pontiff continued to contribute, even amidst this relentless, brutal persecution of the Supreme Pontiff. With that, it's time for us to enter into the meditation. I invite each and every one of you to please sit straight and close your eyes. Just look in and think about all that Supreme Pontiff has done to each and every one of us. How much he has made himself available in spite of this persecution. How much he has been available for each and every one of us in spite of his forced exile. How much the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has attended to each and every one of us individually. How he has been the spiritual strength of all of us amidst this persecution and attack. And how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is continuing to contribute to humanity with wisdom. Just remember all the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And remember your deep feeling connection with your beloved Guru. As we get ready for yet another darshan and the satsang. Visualizing Swamiji in your Ananda Ganga. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Intensely connect with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let your whole body just melt, remembering and experiencing the gratitude for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let every cell in your body feel the gratitude. Offer the gratitude. Let every cell in the body offer the gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is standing to revive Kailasa, who is standing strong to revive the enlightened civilizational nation and the territorial nation Kailasa, so that we are never displaced, so that we as Hindus never need to be displaced again. Intensely chant the Mahavakya, offering your deepest gratitude at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swamiji. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda. Let your heart smelt, let your eyes fall, let your being completely soak in the space of gratitude, devotion, sadhana. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Let your whole being reverberate with the chant of the Maha. Om Nithyananda. Continue to chant the Mahavakya. Just remember all the times Supreme Pontiff has been with you, guiding you through thick and thin, being available to you, protecting you, taking care of you, guiding you, healing you. Just remember each and every moment.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Hence, chant Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Just remember who experienced the deep, powerful presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Remember how blessed we feel having Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in our lives, taking care of us, protecting us. Just having the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as our Guru, the biggest treasure, the biggest jackpot, the biggest lottery that we have in our life.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly Very slowly, please open your eyes.
बंधवे नमो नित्याय नाम सोषितान मध्वबांधवे नमो नित्याय पामरेतर प्रधान बंधवे नमो नित्याय कालभीत विप्र बाल पालते नमो नित्याय शूल भिन्न दुष्ट दक्ष पालते नमो नित्याय मूल कारणाय काल कालते नमो नित्याय पालयाधुना दयाल वालते नमो नित्याय इष्ट वस्तु मुख्य दान हेतवे नमो नित्याय दुष्ट दैत्य वंश धूमकेतवे नमो नित्याय सृष्टि रक्षणाय धर्म सेतवे नमो नित्याय अष्टमूर्तये वृषेन्द्र केतवे नमो नित्याय आपदत्रिभेदडङ्ग हस्तते नमो नित्याय पापहारि दिव्य सिन्धु मस्तते नमो नित्याय पापधारिणे लसन्न मस्तते नमो नित्याय शापदोष खण्डन प्रशस्तते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्दा नित्या हरे नित्यानन्दा नित्या हरे नित्यानन्दा नित्या हरे व्योमकेश दिव्य भव्य रूपते नमो नित्याय हेम मेदिनी धरेन्द्र चापते नमो नित्याय नाम मात्र दग्ध सर्व पापते नमो नित्याय कामनैकतान हृद्दुरापते नमो नित्याय ब्रह्ममस्तकावली निबद्धते नमो नित्याय जिह्वगेन्द्र कुण्डल प्रसिद्धते नमो नित्याय ब्रह्मणे प्रणीत वेद पद्धते नमो नित्याय जिह्वकाल देक दत्त पद्धते नमो नित्याय कामनाशनाय शुद्ध कर्मणे नमो नित्याय सामगान जायमान शर्मणे नमो नित्याय हेमकन्ति चाकचक्य वर्मणे नमो नित्याय सामजासुरांग लब्ध चर्मणे नमो नित्याय जन्म मृत्यु घोर दुःख हारिणे नमो नित्याय चिन्मयैक रूप देह धारिणे नमो नित्याय मन्मनोरथावपूर्तिकारिणे नमो नित्याय सन्मनोगताय कामवैरिणे नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्दा नित्या हरे नित्यानन्दा नित्या हरे नित्यानन्दा नित्या हरे यक्षराज बन्धवेदयालवे नमो नित्याय दक्षपाणि शोभिकाञ्चनालवे नमो नित्याय पक्षिराज वागहृच्छयालवे नमो नित्याय अक्षिपाल वेदभूततालवे नमो नित्याय दक्षहस्तनिष्ठ जात वेदसे नमो नित्याय अक्षरात्मने नमाध्वडौजसे नमो नित्याय दीक्षित प्रकाशितात्म तेजसे नमो नित्याय अक्षराज वागते सताङ्गते नमो नित्याय राजदाचलेन्द्र सानुवासिने नमो नित्याय राजमान नित्य मन्दहासिने नमो नित्याय राजघोर संविधायिने नमो नित्याय सर्वमन्मनोजभङ्गदायिने नमो नित्याय लोकभक्तितोऽपि भक्तपोषिणे नमो नित्याय माकरन्दसारवर्षि भाषिणे नमो नित्याय एकबिल्वदानतोऽपि तोषिणे नमो नित्याय नैकजन्म पापजालशोषिणे नमो नित्याय सर्वजीवरक्षणैकशीलिने नमो नित्याय कीर्तनप्रियाय भक्तपालिने नमो नित्याय दुर्विदग्धदैत्यसैन्यधारिणे नमो नित्याय शर्वरीशधारिणे कपालिने नमो नित्याय पाहि मामुमामनोज्ञ देवते नमो नित्याय देहि मे वरं सिताद्रिगेवते नमो नित्याय मोहितर्षिकामिनी समोहते नमो नित्याय स्नेहितप्रसन्नकामदोहते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द मङ्गलप्रदाय गोतुरङ्गते नमो नित्याय गङ्गया तरङ्गितोत्तमाङ्गते नमो नित्याय सङ्गरप्रवृत्तवैरिभङ्गते नमो नित्याय अङ्गजारये करे पुरङ्गते नमो नित्याय ईशितक्षणप्रदानहेतवे नमो नित्याय आहिताग्निपालकोक्षकेतवे नमो नित्याय देहि कान्तिधूतरौप्य धातवे नमो नित्याय गेकदुःखपुञ्ज धूमकेतवे नमो नित्याय रक्षदीन सत्कृपाकटाक्षते नमो नित्याय दक्ष सप्ततन्तुनाश दक्षते नमो नित्याय रूक्षराजभानुपावकाक्षते नमो नित्याय रक्ष मां प्रपन्नमात्र रक्षते नमो नित्याय यङ्कुपाणये शिवङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय सङ्कटाधितेन किङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय कङ्कभीषिताभयङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय पङ्कजाननाय शङ्कराय ते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे कर्मपाशनाशनीलकण्ठते नमो नित्याय शर्मदाय वर्यभस्मकण्ठते नमो नित्याय निर्ममर्षिसेवितोपकण्ठते नमो नित्याय गुन्महेन तीर्णमद्विकुण्ठते नमो नित्याय विष्णपाधिपाय नम्र विष्णवे नमो नित्याय शिष्टविप्रहृत्कुपाचरिष्णवे नमो नित्याय इष्टवस्तु नित्यतुष्टजिष्णवे नमो नित्याय कष्टनाशनाय लोकजिष्णवे नमो नित्याय अप्रमेय दिव्य सुप्रभावते नमो नित्याय सत्प्रपन्नरक्षण स्वभावते नमो नित्याय स्वप्रकाशनिस्तुलानुभावते नमो नित्याय विप्रडिम्बदर्शितार्द्रभावते नमो नित्याय सेवकाय मे मृडप्रसीदते नमो नित्याय भावलभ्यतावकप्रसादते नमो नित्याय भावकाक्षदेव पूज्यपादते नमो नित्याय कामकाङ्घ्रिभक्तदत्तमोदते नमो नित्याय नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द नित्या हरे नित्यानन्द मुक्ति दिव्य भोगदायिने नमो नित्याय शक्तिकल्पित प्रपञ्च भागिने नमो नित्याय भक्त संकटापहार योगिने नमो नित्याय युक्त सन्मनः सरोज योगिने नमो नित्याय अंतकांतकाय पापहारिणे नमो नित्याय शन्तमाय दन्ति चर्मधारिणे नमो नित्याय संतताश्रितं यथा विदारिणे नमो नित्याय जन्तुजात नित्य सौख्यकारिणे नमो
Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivasamarambam Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Shri Mahants, Mahants, Tanidar Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us all over the world. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Listen, listen intensely. Divya Sarira, the body, indestructible, effulgence, which is inside all of us. Please understand, this Divya Sarira is the core component of all of us. There is no person who does not have Divya Sarira. Everyone has a Divya Sarira. How much ever you think you are good or bad, you think you are God or demon, whatever you think, you have a Divya Sarira. That Divya Sarira strengthened, energized, inspired by sattvic food to the body, sattvic food to the mind, sattvic food to the consciousness. Enjoy this three in your life continuously. Don't worry about what should be negated. See, focusing on what need to be negated makes you very depressed, even feeling deprived. Instead, enjoy what need to be gained. Listen. I have always seen in this 40 years of my Chaturmasya, please understand, it has become almost 40 years now, coming Chaturmasya. This Guru Purnima is my 40th Chaturmasya. In my 40 years of Chaturmasya, Chaturmasya is the 4-year vow, 4-month vow. Chaturmasya means in Sanskrit, the exact meaning is 4-month. That 4-month vow, sannyasis take to replenish themselves, rejuvenate themselves with this sattvic energy, feeding the body with intense sattvic food, feeding the mind with intense sattvic food. Mind has a beautiful sattvic food. Feeding the consciousness with intense sattvic energy. And strengthening the Divya Sarira. The whole purpose of Chaturmasya is that only. These 4 months focused on that strengthening of the Divya Sarira. See, if the Divya Sarira in you, the self-effulgent light body in you, if that is strong, you are an enlightened being. You enjoy best things of the consciousness, your existence. You enjoy the best gifts of your existence. If that self-effulgent Divya Sarira gets more and more covered, you get deluded, suffer with the external world, delusions, delusion, whatnot, whatever. Now, I don't want to get into the negative side description. If you miss strengthening the Sarira, what happens? I don't want to waste time on that. I only wanted to describe how to strengthen the Divya Sarira. Self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasa Sutta Sarira, Daiva Sarira, which all of us has. All of us have. The methodologies to strengthen the Divya Sarira and manifest powers of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, and powers of Paramashiva. This truth is the message from Paramashiva directly to the whole humanity. Let me explain this truth, this message. Please understand. Yesterday, many people were asking me, Swamiji, in the pre-satsang, your sannyasis and sannyasinis and whole Kailasa and Sangha is explaining all the persecution you went through and so much of material evidences, facts are presented by them. What they are talking in the pre-satsang yesterday or last few days, and when you come for satsang, what you are speaking means what I am speaking and what they are presenting, both are not even connected. Many people are questioning me. Listen, please understand. They are talking about what unconscious human beings have done to us. I am talking about what Kailasa is giving it to all of you. Please be very clear. my work, my responsibility, my focus for which I happened is to bring the greatest gifts from Kailasa. As I said, the ground zero, where decisions are made, where the consciousness is making decisions about the existence. I am straight coming from that space. Straight I am from that space now. So I am sharing what Kailasa, Paramashiva wants to share with you all. I am going to give what I need to give it to the world. And what my sannyasis are telling in the pre-satsang hosting, it is true. I have been attacked. My sannyasis have been attacked. My sangha has been attacked. It is true. They are telling what the unconscious humanity has given to us. See, I wanted to share 3 things with you all. First, what I need to give to the humanity. Gifts from Kailasa. The signs of enlightenment, the signs of power manifestation, the signs of becoming superconscious beings. This is the essence of why life happened on planet Earth. Why living beings happened on planet Earth. My purpose is to give superconscious breakthrough for which living beings have happened on planet Earth. So all the gifts, I have so much to give it to all of you. And I tell you, this Aushadha science, the thoughts can be used to program plants, herbs. I have already proved this not only through me, through my Gurukul Balasans. My Balasans can talk to any rose plant for 10 days without touching the rose plant, make that rose plant drop all their thorns, not one. Hundreds of rose plants under CCTV camera. All my kids do is they go and sit and talk to those plants, relate with those plants, give them the love, feeling secured, energy and consciousness. Those plants just drop the thorns. I have proved this science multiple times, thousands of times, through many of my balasans, in many of my ashrams, and still I can prove, I can demonstrate even now. So this is the science. And now I want to tell you the next level. Any disease, the cure needed for the disease is a conscious energy which need to be inserted into your body. can be programmed into any herb, and that herb can be given to you, you will be healed. It's a science. It's a greater science. This science is called Aushadhi. This is the core science of materia medica of Hindu medicine. Understand? I've learnt this Aushadhi science from my three gurus. My gurus, three of them are masters of this Aushadhi science. Isakki Swami and Kuppammal. I always considered both of them as together, one being, because actually one being used both the bodies. I know for sure. Only one person used both the bodies. And Raghupati Yogi. We even have a beautiful photograph of Raghupati Yogi personally applying an Aushadha on one of his disciple. The disciple, I think, is from outside India, abroad. He had some paralytic attack. Just only in 3 days, my Guru has healed him completely with Aushadha and Narayana Swami Tata. These three masters of this Aushadha science gave me this knowledge. Of course, ultimately, Arunagiri Yogeshwara Paramashiva himself showered the whole experience and expertise. Listen. Herbs can be programmed. Plants can be programmed. Consciously programmed. This is the Hindu materia medica science. If somebody learns this science, it is 100 times more than getting any MBBS, MD or anything. Unfortunately, Hindus neither understood nor recognized due to the continuous persecution done on them, genocide done on them. All the knowledge of the Hindu tradition was destroyed, and even Hindus are made to lose confidence on the knowledge. And after a few generations of brainwashing, even Hindus feel all these are false, and they attack the Hindu gurus who are trying to revive all these great truths. It's like some part of your own body destroying your body, like autoimmune disorder. Hindus have been infected by the anti-Hindu elements with the autoimmune disorder. Part of your own body destroys your body, like HIV virus, this AIDS. That kind of a mental setup has been infused. Consciousness has been infused into Hindus. And unfortunately, due to this hundreds of years of persecution and making sure all this knowledge not available to common Hindus, this all made to look like a myth, fake stories, legend, or maybe long before, thousands of years before, this science was there, but now it is not there, or it is not possible to revive. All these kind of ideas are inserted into the common Hindus' minds, And anybody who is trying to establish, revive the science is beaten black and blue and destroyed. See, unfortunately, Hindus lost the understanding about this collective integrity. See, if a ship has to stay afloat, all the mechanisms in that ship need to stay integrated. It can be the maintenance engineer or the cleaning staff, captain, all the equipments fixed in the ship, everything, the machineries, and all human beings, all of them need to be integrated for the ship to stay afloat. A maintenance supervisor cannot say, I have done my job, but the cleaning staff is not doing his job. What can I do? Anyhow, if the ship sinks, I will not be blamed because I have done my job. If a maintenance engineer thinks he is a fool because when the ship sinks, he is also going to die. Not only is going to lose his job, he is going to lose his life. Please see the photograph of my Guru, Raghupati Yogi, applying Aushadha on a patient and healing him from stroke. Maybe he had a stroke and some problem in his spine. So Raghupati Yogi applied the Aushadha and healed him completely. I have seen the Raghupati Yogi's love and compassion. Now listen, let me tell you. For the ship to stay afloat and reach the place where it need to reach, everyone in the ship need to be integrated. It's called collective integrity. A maintenance engineer cannot think, oh, I have done my job, but the fuel manager is not doing his job, or the cleaning person is not doing his job. So if the ship sinks, I will not be blamed. I will not be questioned. I am safe. Let whatever happens to others, or whatever others do or don't do, what is there for me. That level of integrity will not work for the ship to stay afloat. This is exactly done by the Hindus. In the modern day, everyone says, oh, I have tried my best. I have done my best. But others are not doing. What can I do? I have seen this as a typical mold. Same narrative. Whether it comes to reclaiming the political legitimacy of the Hindus, or reclaiming their temples, or reclaiming their organizations and religious freedom, or any guru's organizations running. Please understand, any problem Hindus are facing, still being the slave, Please be very clear. Any Hindu not living under the Hindu constitution is a slave. This is a definition. How the Muslims are very clear. If you are not living under the Islamic law, Islamic constitution, you are a slave. So be very clear. Hindus should understand, if you are not living under Hindu constitution and Hindu law, if you are not living somewhere, please listen. Let me put it very clearly. If you are living in a place where Veda Agamas are the constitution and Manusmriti is the jurisprudence, you can freely declare, you can openly declare, you are a free Hindu. You are a Hindu with freedom to practice Hinduism. Anyone living anywhere where the Veda Agamas are not constitution and Manusmriti is not jurisprudence, you are a slave. At least realize it. Wake up to the truth, reality. What you should do, all that I don't know. I'll at least tell the truth. At least wake up to the truth. Be very clear about it. So whether you ask the Hindus, why are you living a slavery life? Why you don't have a religious freedom? Why your temples are not under you, it's under the government? Why your temple wealth is not used for running gurukuls, the Hindu schools? Why your temple wealth is not being used to develop and spread Hindu medicines? The most funny thing, many of the so-called Hindu ashrams and Hindu organizations run Christian medical institutions. They are not realizing we have a great Hindu medical science. Because the Hindu medical science is neither given legal legitimacy nor given social legitimacy. It's always under constant threat. Even though the Hindu medicinal system is its depth and breadth, everything is far more than any other medical system in the world. "2,000 years before, our guys have performed cosmetic surgery. The Hindu doctors and Hindu medical visionaries like Shushruta, many of the Hindu surgeons, if we have developed our science and retained what we developed, today the Hindu medicine would have been the most powerful. And Hindu medicine is always about the healing and cure. It has nothing to do with monetizing. See, the Hindu medicine is kept in pure form without economical agendas and political agendas. By being kept with the Brahmanas, neither the economical agendas of the Vaishyas can interfere, nor the political agendas of the Kshatriyas can interfere with the Hindu medicinal system. The whole knowledge was vested with the Brahmanas. And please, all of you understand, when I talk about the Varna, it is based on the quality of a person, not by birth. You ask any question to Hindus. Why your medical system, Hindu medicinal system is destroyed? Why you guys are not having any respect for the greatest and oldest jurisprudence, the Hindu law Manusmriti? Everyone will have one answer. Oh, I am done, I am doing whatever I can, but others are not doing. What can I do? Exact answer. A maintenance engineer in a ship, if he gives, what will happen to the ship? That exactly same thing is happening to these guys. We need Hindus to start thinking with a collective integrity. Not only I will do my job as maintenance engineer, I will make sure the fuel manager does his job as fuel manager. And cleaning person does his job as a cleaning person. We need that kind of an ecosystem for Hinduism to be revived. I decided very clearly that can be done only in a place where we have political legitimacy and political sovereignty. With the grace of Paramashiva, I got a place. Maybe small, but I got a place with a political legitimacy and political sovereignty for Hinduism. Hindu nation, Kailasa. Only in this place, this collective integrity ecosystem can be built. A maintenance engineer spends 60% of his working time for his job and the other 40% to integrate with other teams and make sure the other teams are also in integrity so the ship stays afloat. And I tell you, many of my Adinavasis who are still there in Adi Kailash or in our ashram, or some of the Adinavasis who left, many of them are highly integrated. Unfortunately, they are not trained in this vision, science of collective integrity. See, many of them are very highly integrated. They say, I have done my job. I am very integrated. Swamiji knows. What can I do if others are not doing? That is not going to bring the result. If a maintenance engineer, even if he is highly integrated and he doesn't care about the fuel manager properly adding fuel to the ship engines, the ship is going to sink. And maintenance engineer may not be blamed, but he is going to lose his job and life. Many of the individually integrated people in my Sangha missed this truth. Only with the collective integrity, the ship can stay afloat. If not, you may not be blamed because you have been integrated. But the final result is not going to happen. You are also going to lose your job and life both. I thoroughly understood. Hindus have been beaten too long. And maximum They have the energy only to be individually integrated. They don't have energy to manage the collective integrity. So only the captain has to be responsible for the collective integrity. I realized that the collective integrity, education and evolving a structure with a collective integrity. For reviving Hinduism, we need a place with a political legitimacy and political sovereignty. With the blessings of Paramashiva, Ganapati, Kalabhairava, all the gods and goddesses of Kailasa, Bhuma Devi, we got a place for Kailasa with the political sovereignty and legitimacy. We have a place. More than one place, actually. We have a place now, more than one place. I tell you, I have to do it. I cannot waste time in blaming, in cursing. I don't have time for that. I'm already 43. I have to do it. Of course, the grace of Paramashiva, we did it. We have a place now. The base is ready. Now the collecting the individuals and organizing. Even now I can see I have amazing individuals who are so highly dedicated and integrated to me. I can name every one in front of me. If you see the integrity of Ma Divyananda, she is equivalent to a Nayanmar. Push Murugai and Saras Murugai. Sumati, Ma Parameshwara, Karunananda, Ma Paramananda. I can go on reading everybody. I tell you, I never praise Ma Pranapriya, her integrity. If I need a kidney, I don't need, I will never need, I am very healthy and I am going to live a healthy life. I am giving you, for example, if I need a kidney, I will take only from Ma Pranapriya, because she will not even repent 1 second, oh, I gave my kidney to Swamiji. That kind of integrity. But this individual's integrity will not be enough. We need collective integrity. There are so many people who gave their life to me, not just their wealth. They will even give a body organ to me if I need. If I need a kidney, I don't know how many people will apply to donate. If I need an eye, I don't know how many people will apply to donate. I have such highly integrated, dedicated, devoted people. But unfortunately, none of them understand that it is a collective integrity which is needed to make Kailasa successful. Not just individual integrity. Everyone is so happy and satisfied and fulfilled. I am individually integrated to Swamiji. Hey, that is not enough. I'm telling you, na. Pushp and Saras Murugai, I'm giving you an example. Saras Murugai and Pushp Murugai, they gave all their wealth to me. Sarvavari Tyagis. Not even 1 second they even felt did they do right or wrong. They know for sure giving everything to Swamiji is the ultimate right best thing. As I told, if I take a kidney from Ma Prana Priya for me, not even 1 second she will repent or think, or she will not even have a second thought. Did I do right or wrong by giving my kidney to Swamiji? Never ever she will have a second thought. I have such highly integrated people. You see, these few names I uttered because they are in front of my eyes. And I have long list. The names I have not uttered. But unfortunately, none of them understand just the individual integrity is not enough for the ship to stay afloat. It is collective integrity that is required. Pranapriya will not have any problem to give her kidney to me. She will not even have a second thought. But she cannot go for rounds all over the campus and make everyone work and keep everyone's integrity. Because she doesn't understand. It is collective integrity that keeps a ship stay afloat. Same way Saras Murugai. She will work 24/7 for me. But she cannot ask the other people in the team to work. I tell you, this is one of the biggest curse Hindus are suffering. Everyone feels, oh, I am integrated, I will do what I need to do. Others are not doing, what can I do? It is captain's responsibility in making collective integrity happen, everyone to be integrated, not mine. Sometimes people in the ship, one side maintenance team enjoys the other side maintenance team failing, thinking, oh, see how we are victorious now, they are failing, and that side of the ship, such big holes are happening. Hey, if the water comes in and the ship sinks, all of you are going to die. Why don't you understand? Hindus lack this understanding. In every level, whether, see, a major 100 problems of Hindus, if you list, their temples are not in their hands. All the income, money comes to the temple. For spreading Hinduism is not used for that purpose. And all the wealth dedicated and donated for Hinduism by their ancestors is not used for that purpose. Somebody was telling me the other day, I am not talking about one state or any one country. And I don't interfere in any country's internal administration and all that. I am talking to Hindus, to wake up. Wherever you are suffering slavery, you need to understand. Many of the wealth dedicated by their ancestors to revive and maintain Hindu arts, Hindu medicine, Hindu spiritual truths, the wealth is not being used. Whether it's a political slavery or the persecution Hindus suffering, or not having the religious freedom to own their religious worship places in their control, not having the freedom to practice their religion as they want, as the agamas, their religious scriptures describe, not able to maintain and hold their religious organizations or religious wealth under them. You ask any question, any problem to any Hindu thinkers, think tanks, Hindu organizations, Hindu leaders, Hindus, whether common Hindu or Hindu thinkers, ask them, any of them, these questions. Why the Hindu gurus are being attacked left, right, center through the hate speech, and systematically the Hindu organizations are pulled down, collapsed, and why Hindus are keeping quiet without defending the Hindu gurus who are the... See, Hindu gurus are attacked to destroy Hinduism. Please understand, the anti-Hindu elements, their goal, their aim is Hinduism. Because the Hindu gurus are defending Hinduism and promoting Hinduism, they are being attacked. And Hindus are not waking up to this truth. You ask any of these questions, this top 100 questions, top 100 problems. You list top 100 problems of the Hindus. Getting bullied in the cyberspace. So much of cyber bullying. All the major social media organizations are anti-Hindu, racist. So much cyberbullying, racist attacks on Hindus. They don't have their temples under their control. Their gurus are being attacked left, right, center. Every day one guru is pulled down with false accusations, false cases, lawfare, hate speech, very systematically. List all these 100 problems and ask these questions. Everyone will say, oh, I am doing whatever I can. But others are not doing. What can we do? We need Hindu leaders to understand collective integrity truth. It is collective integrity which is going to keep the ship stay afloat. Even if you have only 10 people in your team, if you are able to make that whole team collective integrity, your Kailasa will be successful. You can be head of a Kailasa and it will be successful. I tell you, in every level, I have to do my responsibility. in my responsibility, things to do list, foremost, first priority is to bring all the great superconscious gifts from Kailasa and share it with you all. That's my first priority. As I told, strengthening your Divya Sarira with the right methodologies, making your body sattvic through yoga, right aushadha and sattvic food, making your mind sattvic and powerful through completion, unclutching, nirvikalpa samadhi, making your consciousness powerful by that sattvic Paramashivananda, introducing literally the existence, conscious existence of Paramashiva. You just know Paramashiva is alive and he is in me. He is sitting alive, blissful, with his broad swarupa. Paramashiva Paramburul, knowing he is alive in you. Makes your consciousness sattvic. My first and foremost responsibility is to bring these great gifts to all of you. And to bring these gifts to all of you and share it with all of you, making all of you enlightened and enjoy. This is my first and foremost responsibility, and this is my first priority. My second priority, second work is making all my Sangha, people who have given their life to me, making them understand the great truth of collective integrity. As I told, I have the best people, most dedicated. One of the most sweetest message I received in last few days is Akhil Kodali sending me message, Swamiji, please come to Satsang. I miss you too much. I could not control my laughter. Actually, this message from Akhil Kodali has put such a wide smile on my face. Hey, this fellow having so much romance and love. I tell you, I have best people around me. Akhil will give anything he has for me, will not even think he has given that to me. He will literally feel he is enjoying that through me. That kind of a love. I have such highly integrated people. But unfortunately, all of them need to understand the importance of collective integrity. It is only the collective integrity which will keep the ship afloat, successful. Write 108 times collective integrity, collective integrity, collective integrity, collective integrity. Not selective integrity or individual integrity alone. Individual integrity is okay, good. But it is collective integrity. Only that can keep the ship afloat and successful. My second responsibility is making my Sangha, Kailasa, all the people who gave their life to me, who gave their individual integrity to me, making them realize collective integrity's importance. I think in all our ashram, in every room, we should put a small board beautifully. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat, not just individual integrity. So, the people who are working in accounts department, distributing money, and the people who are working in Goshala and keeping the Goshala clean and cows healthy, happy, and the people who are doing the agriculture and growing the herbs, and people who are doing puja in the temple, everyone need to have integrity to keep the ship afloat. The collective integrity only will keep the ship afloat, making the people who declared their integrity to me, making them realize the importance of collective integrity. I have some people highly dedicated, like Sri Shantapriyananda. He will be absolutely obedient to Guru Vak. Anything I say, he will simply obey. But complete loose, cranky. He cannot even talk to others. Make a simple coordination. Even simple coordination he cannot do. Sri Shantapriyananda, write 108 times. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat. Collective integrity makes the Kailasa successful. Collective integrity only will make my life successful. If one department fails, then be very clear, everyone is going to not only lose the job, lose the life, because the ship is going to sink. In all our ashrams, all our temples, all our monasteries, all our gurukuls, we should have a clear board. Almost like every hall, every room, even the devotee's house where you are literally living like an extended Kailasa, you should put a board. It is collective integrity that makes your life and Kailasa successful. People who can make collective integrity successful are the leaders. Working with others, whatever need to be done, making it happen. My second responsibility is teaching my Kailasa people the collective integrity. Third, my third work is making Hindus aware how they are being cheated, exploited, destroyed, hit, persecuted. I tell you, one of the worst thing is Hindus are not even realizing they are being persecuted, they are under siege. Very active war is going on. Hinduism is the fastest shrinking, dying religion. Sorry for using the word dying. Fastest shrinking religion. Go and see the statistics. Don't try to come and Kambusutufai here. Go and see the statistics. Hinduism is the fastest shrinking religion. Just see last 100 years track record. You will understand what I am saying. These three are my important responsibilities. Let me do my first responsibility. Inspiring, initiating, making all of you understand in every level working with your body, with your mind, with your consciousness, and experiencing Divya Sarira, the divine conscious body, Understand these few principles. These few principles which I am going to share with you all now are like universal. Sarvabhaumya. Vrataha. These are like universal vows, universal principles. Sattvic means anything which awakens the qualities of consciousness in you, like extreme love, fulfillment. I tell you, when I manifest from samadhi, the kind of the love and joy, excitement, intensity I feel, actually this withdrawing from the society, I am enjoying like anything. I am basically a loner. Enjoys is aloneness. I don't feel intimidated or disturbed by the crowd. Thousands coming. No, I don't feel disturbed. It's not that I hate people. No. But I enjoy my space just being with me in samadhi. It is such an extraordinary living joy, living experience of bliss, not imagination, theory, visualization, fantasy. No. Living. How? You feel you are alive in your body. Bliss is a living experience for me in samadhi. It is just alive. Anything infuses that bliss, alive, as living experience in you is sattva. That is what I call good food. Good food is sattva. Sattva is the good food. I am getting so many questions now, alive. The live questions. Bhushanananda is asking, dear Swamiji, what more can I do to keep the boat afloat? Bhushanananda, first drop all your fears, delusion. Go back to Adi Kailash. Decide Your life is to keep the collective integrity. Sincere decision, intention to keep the collective integrity is enough. That will inspire everyone. Please understand, anyone who lives in my Kailasa, all over the world, whether it is a Adi Kailasa or Salem or Biddi or Tiruvannama, anyone who lives in my Kailasa, naturally, they have declared their individual integrity to me. They don't need to be inspired. They need to see others are also working for collective integrity. So let me also work for collective integrity. That's all. We just need few examples who are sincerely working for collective integrity. Then everyone will simply decide, yes, collective integrity is my life. Collective integrity is my life. Collective integrity keeps the boat afloat, keeps the ship afloat. They just need few examples who are sincere to work for collective integrity. Bhushanananda, go to Adi Kailasa, be an example. Through your sincerity, show that you want everyone to come to collective integrity, constantly holding the space, talking to everyone, reaching out to everyone, inspiring everyone, educating everyone about the collective integrity and how only collective integrity is going to make the ship afloat. Individual integrity alone is not enough to keep the ship afloat. You realizing and making everyone realize, that will only make the ship afloat. Bhushanananda, I know you are integrated to me individually, but you need to work for collective integrity. That is what is the real leader. Leader is a person who works for collective integrity. Not just individually integrated. As I said, I have many people who will just be happily ready to donate their kidney for me, but cannot go around and inspire others, ask others, work with others, and make others also integrated and make the collective integrity. I'm just seeing all the questions, live questions. Everyone is asking, how can we make the collective integrity happen? Actually, there is no manual for it. You need to start working with people. You need to start listening to people. You need to start bringing completion with yourself and with people. You need to start building team. We have a clear process. Manifesting everyone's reality. That used to be the syllabus for Inner Awakening 4th level. We had Inner Awakening level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, where everyone's vision, ambition is shared and everyone tries to help to make everyone's vision into reality. So that should become the ecosystem, the collective integrity should become the ecosystem of every Kailasa. Any Kailasa where the collective integrity become ecosystem, that Kailasa will be successful. That's all. Maybe you can all think about collective integrity and have a Vakyartha Sadas about collective integrity. Not having collective integrity is the source reason and sole reason for all the problems of the Hindus. Any Kailasa brings collective integrity as the ecosystem will be successful and solve all problems of Hindus. See, when a collective integrity is brought, everyone in the team will be successful. Everyone will be successful. Simple, super determinism to have a collective integrity brings collective integrity. That's what I am doing. How much I am attacked, abused from externally and even from internally, how many ways I have been attacked. But super determinism to keep the collective integrity, that made the Kailasa successful. Kailasa happened. That is making the Kailasa stay afloat and successful. Let's do Vakyartha on this and bring all your questions. I'll answer all those questions tomorrow in the next satsang live. The next live satsang. I don't want to say tomorrow. Next live satsang. And also we will start the Parashakti, Paramashakti, Devi Bhava Darshan and Akashic readings. Soon. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all work on this collective integrity. Let's all radiate with collective integrity also. Integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, the Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तः श्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षि सुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूत द्राविडवेदप्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगतमुक्तामयचतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्रचामर श्रीचिह्नकाहलादिसमस्तबिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञानविज्ञानचक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसङ्घ सद्यो निर्वाणदीक्षाव्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमतकलभकेसरी शैवसिद्धान्तस्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराज पाण्ड्यमहाराज गुरु क्षपणशाक्यादिमहान्धकारनिवारणज्ञानभानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदनपूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वजस्थापक शैवसमयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिकस्वामि वागीशसुन्दरमाणिक्यवाचकस्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धस्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरजित कैलास परम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासनपीठकर्तः साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुराङ्गी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणिपीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ जगद्गुरो श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय